Hello and welcome to the SFC-3000 tutorial video. Here we have a used sample of oil. Using the Particle Pal Pro, we've taken a sample and we can see the results for the current state of the oil. Here we have the SFC-3000 filtration cart. This example is a 110 volt version. Each cart is supplied with two 3 metre 1 inch BSP hoses, and standpipes. Using a 32mm socket, I'm going to remove each filter bowl As these are pressure filters, there is a fair amount of thread, so just be careful and take your time. As you'll notice, my right hand is underneath the bowl. So if this was to be full of oil when replacing a filter, then if that dropped, I can catch it. So now we have the bowls off and we're ready to introduce the filters. So here we have a 10 and a 5 micron filter. Firstly, we're going to use the 10 micron filter and put it on the first filter. Inlet, first filter, second filter, outlet. We can then stage the filtration from 10 down to 5. So that will connect. There is an O-ring in there with a small amount of grease pre-installed, and like just reversing, we're going to introduce the thread back on. Once it gets a little bit tighter, you might want to then pick up your wrench again or a 32mm spanner to finish off the tightening. Once you get to the end of the thread, it will start to tighten and you'll just need to nip it. It doesn't need to be super tight, as is a huge amount of thread, and these filters are designed to go right to the end before it stops. The sticker will align up to the facing the front, so you know it's right at the beginning. There is a pressure differential filter on each one. There's a blocking indicator, a little visual. It will be green. If it ever blocks at 2.5 bar or 40 psi, it will pop up red. Once you replace a filter, you can push it back down manually and it will replace it back to green. So there we have the electrical cord. It's yellow, so 110 volt. So using our own hoses rather than the 3 metre ones, I have a return hose there that's going to go onto the outlet side of the filter. So there's a little dust cap there that I'm going to remove, and that will reveal the female 1 inch thread. Using one end, hand tight, all the way until it needs nipping with a 32mm spanner, and we're going to do the same on the inlet side. In this application for demonstration, the hoses are made to measure, so they're not wildly long. Also, another thing to bear in mind, I'm not going to be using standpipes, or some people refer to them as lancers, as it's just a demonstration, but we highly recommend in the field that you use the lancers, as the suction lance has a 100 micron mesh strainer to protect the pump if there's any debris that could potentially go in there to cause damage to the pump. Just connecting here a 240 down to a 110 converter, as I didn't have 110 on site for the demonstration. Here I'm just arranging the suction return line so we can see the demonstration. This isn't how you'd probably do it in the field, but just for demonstration purposes, so we can see the return oil coming out as a flow rate. This flow rate is going to be a 45 litre a minute option, and there's an 80 litre tank, so it's going to be turning the oil over twice a minute. I've now switched the unit on. As we can see, the flow is engaged. Once the hoses are in place, we can leave the unit to filter. And here we have the end results. We're using the Particle Pal Pro again to test the quality of the oil. So we can resume the test we previously did. So here are our results from the test, and we can see that the ISO counts have dropped by 3, which means that the filters have done exactly what they've said they were going to do. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope it helps.